They have banned, or they're attempting at least, to ban people from using roads to access abortion. Texas continues trying to prevent people from using roads to get abortion. You can just take the train, right? You can just take the train. Direction. Albuquerque, New Mexico. It takes 9 hours. It takes 9.5 hours with car travel to get from Albuquerque to Dallas. But it takes a fucking day to go by train. A fucking day. Because you need to go by Greyhound first, of course. From Albuquerque to... Wait, this is all Greyhound? Wait, okay, 17 hours. Okay, here we go. Some trains at least. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. I'm going to take a Greyhound from Dallas. No, of course not. And also, I can't take a Greyhound from Dallas to Albuquerque because that's using the fucking road. And even if I could take the train, they'd find a way to ban that too. They are hell-bent on making sure the women, and let's be honest, the fathers in a lot of cases as well, are suffering for their sexual desires. Texas, as we all know, is just fascism. Like they are on the precipice of full-on, complete fascism. Oh, I can tie back to that. God, I'm sometimes my mind blows itself. Here.
Is that what you've demonstrated in 1980?
Okay, I'm not absolutely dissatisfied with it.
So British.
I think it is a good idea, but the execution would have been better if I had not been under the influence of TB when I wrote it.
You once claimed that you have an ability to face unpleasant facts. Is that what you've demonstrated in 1984 by drawing an accurate portrait of the future?
Accurate might be like an over-exaggeration.
I think that allowing...
Over-exaggeration? Overstatement. Exaggeration.
For the book being, after all, a parody, something like 1984 could actually happen. This is the direction the world is going in at the present time. In our world, there will be no emotions except fear, rage, triumph, and self-abasement.
Fear, rage, what is it? Oh.
Except fear, rage, triumph, and self-abasement.
Fear, rage, triumph, and self-abasement. Self-abasement, just so I don't misspeak. No, abasement. The belittling or humiliation of oneself. Okay, as I thought.
The sex instinct will be eradicated. We shall abolish the orgasm. There will be no loyalty except loyalty to the party. But always there will be the intoxication of power. Always, at every moment, there will be the thrill of victory, the sensation of trampling on an enemy who is helpless. If you want a picture of the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human face forever. The moral to be drawn from this dangerous nightmare situation is a simple one. Don't let it happen. It depends on you.
Yeah. what did he say? The only thing that will happen or exist or no emotion except for fear, rage, triumph, and self-abasement. Now let's start there and look at American politics as they stand today. How is that not a perfect description of the Republican Party at this point? Perfect description. They are so fearful of everything that is not something they are acceptable of. They are not knowledgeable on. They are at every corner. They are seeing ghosts haunting them. It's a nightmare scenario at this moment for every Republican as they rage. They are getting their rage bait from the state. They are getting targets from the state. Fear the immigrant. Fear the transsexuals. Fear the gays is back. Marjorie Taylor Greene, just yesterday, I believe, when they voted down the latest Speaker of the House, because he voted for the Marriage Equality Act. It's 2023. Heterosexual marriage, the nuclear family is still intact. It's still the dominant form of structure. It's still the dominant form of pair building. We're just more accepting of other forms of pair building now. But no, they can't accept that. They cannot accept that. They also voted him down because he certified the election, I believe. But mentioning the Marriage Equality Act, very suspect. So they're getting all of these rage outlets. They're 2 minutes of hate, as in 1984. At every turn, just look at the libs of TikTok. It's the 2 minutes of rage was an underestimate from Orwell, in my opinion, because it's 24/7 now. We have there will be no loyalty except loyalty to the party, and in this case, loyalty to Trump. Trump is the Republican Party. And if you're not loyal to him, you're not part of the party. You're not in the club anymore. Mitt Romney, no longer in the club because he didn't want to be loyal to Trump. The Cheney, whatever her first name is, no longer not loyal to Trump. And that was a freeze frame. Did I catch that freeze frame? Not loyal to Trump. I can create highlights now. Cool. Not loyal to Trump, and therefore she's not in the party anymore. And it says, but always there will be the intoxication of power. Self-abasement also. They are constantly self-abasing themselves. This whole speaker debacle is self-abasement. They are willing to self-abase themselves to show loyalty to Trump, is the point. That is all they're doing. They just want to prove to their constituents, which is shrinking. I was going to say growing smaller, but that's an oxymoron. When I'm talking about Orwell, I want to be specific here. I will be poignant. They are, it's shrinking every single day that goes by because of how they are handling not only the speaker position, but abortion rights. Just abortion rights. How fucking moronic. And statistics have now come out that there were more abortions this year than the last year. Post abortions being banned, there have been more abortions. What else did he say here? No loyalty is loyalty to the party, but always there will be the intoxication of power. Always, at every moment, there will be the thrill of victory, the sensation of trampling on an enemy who is helpless. If you want a picture of the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human face forever. Don't let it happen. But we have over and over and over and over again. We're allowing this to happen. America is just the latest example of all this. And the orgasm, banning the orgasm, abolishing the orgasm. When I heard this, because he's right, like he's correct that fascism. Look at Islam. Look at not just Islam. Look at Christianity. The more conservative Christian sects. Look at Christianity, how it was practiced in the West 50 years ago, perhaps only. Look at Islam as it's practiced generally in the world. Look at major Orthodox or conservative religion. You'll see that orgasms are completely banned. Why? Why do authoritarians want to ban orgasms? Well, it's control, of course. You control the people quite easily when you control their sexuality. When I was a teen, I heard a musician, I believe a female. I don't know if it was a song or it was an interview. Somewhere, somehow, I heard when the sex is good in a relationship, it is the smallest part of the relationship. But when it's bad, it's the only part of the relationship. It's the only aspect you will focus on in that relationship. Doesn't mean it has to be like consistently good. It doesn't mean you have to have complete fulfillment each and every. There are ups and downs in every relationship, including the sexual and the sexual. The reason why the sexual aspects of the relationship is so important is because it reveals the rest of the relationship. It's not that the sex might be bad, it's that you can't enjoy the sex. It's that you can't practice it like you want to because you're not feeling comfortable anymore inside the relationship, or there's aspects, there's tension inside the relationship which prevents you from being intimate with that person. But the manifestation, kind of like a gangrenous wound, like it's infected. You like it's not just the wound itself, right? You know that. But you can see the wound, you can touch the wound, you can feel the wound. It's the wound that hurts you, even though there's more issues there. And that's my thinking with why sex is so important in relationships and why authoritarians always look to control the sexuality. And my point with the conservative aspects of religion, because we have Christian and Muslim and Jewish sects which are liberal, which are just you do whatever you want, it's feel good. It's a little bit hippie, it's a bit hippie. We have those sects, and I'm fine with them in general, as long as we have all these other conservative parts of religion there. But the reason the conservative part is important here is because they focus not only on the female sexuality, which is a common misconception, at least on the left, but both the male and the female sexuality is important for them to control. If you look at how, and this is going to blow someone's mind, I believe, Kellogg's cornflakes, how they were formed, it is beginning. Bell Creek's internal about the John Cowles. Okay, it's interesting. Oh, wait, did they? Mostly false? Okay, Snopes is claiming this is mostly false. Were Kellogg's cornflakes created as an anti-masturbatory morning meal? A number of websites, blah, blah, blah. Mostly false. What's true? The creation of cornflakes was part of John H. Kellogg's broader advocacy for a plain, bland diet. Without referring to cornflakes in particular, Kellogg elsewhere recommended a plain, bland diet as one of several methods to discourage masturbation. So it's true, it's mostly true, I would say here then. What's false? According to the available evidence, cornflakes were primarily created as an easy-to-digest, pre-prepared, and healthy breakfast food. Healthy is a... okay. Maybe without... Sure? I don't know. In particular for patients at the Kellogg Sanatorium in Michigan. The product was never advertised as anti-masturbatory morning meal. No, of course it wasn't. Because who would advertise a meal that way? But and the same goes with circumcision. Why is America, a Christian, predominantly Christian nation, circumcising their kids at such high rates? I'm gonna history of circumcision. No. As a means to discourage masturbation or other socially proscribed sexual behaviors. As a means to wait, why can't I speak today? Discourage. Why was that so hard? It is to discourage male masturbation. That is why it was initially so prevalent. Because of religious, authoritarian thinking. You want to control people's sexuality. Now, female sexual control is much more rampant, of course. I'm not going to deny that, males and females have an equal... No. It didn't work. Let's just put it that way. Circumcising you do not work to dissuade you from masturbating, okay? I have friends. I have childhood friends. We talked. I know. There's nothing. And any American in the audience can attest to this. You're not dissuaded. It just makes it harder. You need the fucking lube. You know what I get? Natural lube. My dick is naturally lubed. Oh, but it stinks. No, it doesn't. It's not cleaner to be circumcised. There's soap. There's water. I took a shower today. You know what I did? I took some soap and I rubbed it on my dick. All over the dick. You don't need, no, it's not cleaner. You're just used to the circumcised dick, okay? That's for one. But yeah, I'm not going to claim that male or male sexual repression is as prevalent or as harmful as the female variety. Of course not. But it does exist, and we shouldn't deny it, is my point. We should acknowledge it. Because this is what authoritarians do. This is what fascists want to do. I'm just going to see if I missed anything here. No. So, why am I speaking of this? Well, Texas is a fairly conservative, at least in parts of, in terms of its political government. Political government? Political body. As if you look at the people, I'm sure it's much more left-leaning, much more democratic-leaning. I know it's in a demographic shift. It's in a political shift towards the left. I know that. But at this moment, some very powerful conservative authoritarians, because there are conservative non-authoritarians out there, but these are really, really authoritarians. They have banned, or they're attempting at least, to ban people from using roads to access abortion. Texas continues trying to prevent people from using roads to get abortion. You can just take the train, right? You can just take the train. How hard can that be? Oh, trains. Texas Train Network. Statewide railroad map. Give it to me. Give it to me. Why are you so slow, Texas? They're not cached in Europe, that's why. Can I get a... Because why would they be? It's a Texas. You can just take the railroad. Yes. Yes. You need to go from what is this? That's Dallas, Fort Worth. And you need to go all the way over here. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. There's no... Oh, wait. Can I get a... That's actually more than I expected, to be fair. U.S. Railroad, but I'm guessing it's not really connected outside of Texas. Railroad map. Can I... Interactive. Freight train. Right. Oh, it's for freights, of course. What is it? Take a train from Texas to... What is it? New Mexico? Oh. 15 years ago. Okay, cool. From Texas to New Mexico. You can pick from 3 daily train trips between Dallas and Albuquerque. The average train journey from Dallas to Albuquerque takes 40 hours and 50 just say 41 hours. It takes 41 hours. But some Amtrak train trips are as short as 28 and 39 minutes. Wow. Now that is Dallas, Texas, and I wanna. How long does it go by car then? Direction, Albuquerque, New Mexico. It takes 9 hours. It takes 9.5 hours with car travel to get from Albuquerque to Dallas, but it takes a fucking day to go by train. A fucking day. Because you need to go by Greyhound first, of course, from Albuquerque to... Wait, this is all Greyhound? Wait, okay, 17 hours. Okay, here we go. Some trains at least. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. I'm going to take a Greyhound from Dallas. No, of course not. And also, I can't take a Greyhound from Dallas to Albuquerque because that's using the fucking road. And even if I could take the train, they'd find a way to ban that too. They are hell-bent on making sure the women, and let's be honest, the fathers in a lot of cases as well, are suffering for their sexual desires. You can see the cat right there. I'm just going to drink and then we're going to read a bit. A Texas county near New Mexico, but still, there's no train there, so sorry. Where abortion is legal, has banned helping people traveling to get an abortion in one of the newest ways conservatives are trying to restrict abortion access since the fall of Roe v. Wade. Lubbock County is the largest of 4 Texas counties that have now adopted a version of the measure, which would be enforced through lawsuits filed by private citizens against people who help women obtain abortions. It is the same legal mechanism Texas used to enact a strict abortion law in 2021 before the U.S. Supreme Court allowed the state last year to ban nearly all abortion entirely. Commissioners in the West Texas County adopted a measure 3-0. 3-0? Commissioners at a meeting Monday rejecting some requests to postpone the vote. The ordinance has many legal problems, said Lubbock County Judge Curtis Parrish, the county's top elected official. The ordinance, however, does not have a problem with its intent or the intent of those who are passionate about this. Okay. The measures expanded on city ordinance rural Texas cities began passing in 2019 to ban abortions within their boundaries, even if the cities did not have a clinic performing abortions. They're just preemptively banning just to ban. And again, that's self-abasement. That is loyalty. That is showing your loyalty by self-abasing yourself. Because it's meaningless. Why would you do something so meaningless? It affects nobody. It gives nobody comfort. It gives nobody protections. It removes no threat. It introduces no protection that isn't already in effect by practice. It is just self-abasement to show your willingness, your loyalty to the cause in this case. Because Trump isn't anti-abortion, in my opinion. I don't think he's really anti-abortion. I don't think he cares about abortions, to be fair. To be real. There's nothing in Trump's messaging really about we need to... He's more anti-trans. I don't think he's anti-trans either, personally, than he is anti-abortion. The measures expanded on city ordinance, and I read this. Mark Lee Dickinson, a Texas pastor who has led the efforts, praised the vote. Again, separation church state somewhere in the Constitution. Somewhere in there, there's something about church and state separating. I don't know. There's a divorce. This is like the Christians in America are like the divorced guy, you know? They're like the wife guy who gets a divorce. My wife, guys, I long for the day when coast to coast abortion is considered a great moral, social, and political wrong and is outlawed in every single state. Dixon, the Dickster, told Commission. How much do you want to bet this guy is either a raging homosexual, fucks trans women on the side, or has had multiple abortions, or has sponsored even multiple abortions himself? Because, you know, it's always like, well, I get the abortion because I had special circumstances. You're not allowed, like, you shouldn't divorce, but I get the divorce because it was special circumstances, you know? It's just the way it is. Like, it's murder to abort someone. It's like, that's a person down there. But it was special self-defense, guys. So I'm going to use that next time. It's self-defense to abort. In some cases it is. Oh my God. In some cases it's literally self-defense to abort a fetus. If someone is strangling you, actively strangling you, like, and you get a hold of a gun, you're allowed to just shoot the guy, and you're free to go. Like, you're gonna be investigated. You're probably gonna have a trial date, but you're gonna, like, you'd be strangled. You'd be dead unless you kill the other. That's self-defense, unless the strangling is happening from inside your body. Well, what can you do? It's another life. It's a unique DNA inside, unique human DNA inside. You're not allowed to kill unique human DNA. Like, you, what are you talking about? Oh, good luck with the haircut place. Like, I'd actually take that, the self-defense claim, to the Supreme Court. Like, I know they're probably going to strike it down. Probably. But it's going to be a good defense, I think. It's going to be hard for them to claim that it's not self-defense against a harmful individual, if you want to call them a life, if you want to call them a person. I'd absolutely run with the self-defense angle here. Controversy. Let's see here. Mark Lee Dickens. Gay. Homo. Lover. Nope. Nothing. End of life advocacy. In 2018, Dixon became active on end of life issues as he worked with Ren and Karen Michael to prevent their 39-year-old son, Jonathan Michael, from being taken off of life support at a hospital in Tyler, Texas. In 2019, Dixon worked with Senator Brian Hughes and Texas Right to Life on the case of 61-year-old Carolyn Jones in Houston, Texas, who was about to be removed from life support because of the Texas Advanced Directives Act. So okay. So brain dead people are going to have to be, kept on life support, I guess. I read that. No violations of the travel prohibition have been reported in the counties with similar measures already on the books. No violation of travel prohibition have been reported in the counties with similar measures already on the books. The measures would not punish women who are seeking the abortion, but would present legal risk to people who help transport them to get the procedure. So if you take the Greyhound, if a pregnant woman, and we're talking early stage, like you might not even be showing here, but if a pregnant woman travels on your Greyhound, for not your only, but on Greyhound buses for a fucking day, 24 fucking hours, you're liable if that's to get an abortion. So I'm guessing they're going to have to card everyone, then ask everyone, can you pee on this stick to make sure you're not pregnant? Because if they're pregnant, even if they're pregnant, I'm just going to visit, like visibly pregnant. I'm visiting my mother who is dying of cancer in the hospital there, which just happens to be next to an abortion clinic. Oh, sorry. Can't allow that. Because you might get an abortion. And that's me liable for that. How land of the free, home of the brave, as long as it's not an abortion, because then we're fucking wimps. Legal experts have questioned whether the ordinance could be enforced. Yeah, how the fuck are you going to enforce this? We haven't had this kind of issue tested, so it's kind of a case of first impression, said Zima Mohapatra, a health law expert and law professor at Southern Methodist University. The Lubbock County Sheriff's Office declined to comment on the ban or its implementation. Lubbock County has about 317,000 residents and far outnumbers the population of the three other Texas counties, Mitchell, Goliad, and Cochran, that have approved the ordinance in recent months. With each county's population accounting fewer than 10,000 residents, highways throughout Lubbock County run to New Mexico, which has some of the most permissive abortion laws in the U.S. That's interesting. I wouldn't have expected that. The ban does not apply to cities within Lubbock County, including the city of Lubbock, which has about 264,000 of the county's residents, which is like, what is it, more than 2/3 of all residents. So 2/3 of all residents, this ban doesn't count for. Lubbock voters in 2021 have voted a similar measure. Texas already live under some of the most restrictive and dangerous abortion bans in the country, yet anti-abortion extremists continue to push additional unnecessary, confusing, and fear-inducing barriers to essentialize healthcare. To essential healthcare, said Autumn Kaiser, spokesperson for Planned Parenthood of Greater Texas. Texas is one of 13 states that bans abortion at all stages of pregnancy. In August, a Texas judge ruled that the state's ban was too restrictive for women with pregnancy complications, but that ruling was swiftly put on hold following an appeal by the state. The Texas law was passed prior to the U.S. Supreme Court's 2022 ruling that overturned Roe v. Wade. It's all about fear. It's all about putting fear of the state in people. And not just women. This is about men as well. Like, how many men do you think doesn't want their one-night stand to have an abortion? Like, of course they do. Like, if I was in one of those situations at one point. My, not a one-night stand, but a fuck buddy of mine. She was non-responsive to me in texts. And I don't call people usually unless I know them. That seems invasive to me. Whatever. But eventually, like a month went by, and she texted me back. And she said, "I'm pregnant." I'm like, "Okay. What are the odds?" She's like, "You're last on the list. There are 2 other guys." And it turned out to be her ex-boyfriend who was the father. So I was off the hook. I was off the hook. Thank God. I would have been a terrible father. Terrible. Maybe I gotten my ADHD diagnosis earlier, but I doubt it. I doubt it. And it's not just Texas, by the way, who are giving you targets. Like Texas is what Texas is doing, and they're not just doing this, but specifically in the text we read, they want to control your sexuality. They want to make sure that you are not having sex, is the point. That is the point. They want to make sure that you are fearful whenever you have sex. They want to make sure, when will they ban vasectomies and tube tying? What is it called? Whatever. When are they gonna ban those measures? That's the next step. That is the next step. Not only will you not be allowed to condoms. Sorry, condoms is gonna be the next step. Condom ban. Texas. Oh. Not condoms, neither. Let's see here. A West Texas coffee shop owner is giving away Plan B for free as fight over contraception access takes hold. And if we look at here, the kit's made by Jane Doe, blah, blah, 2 pills. Okay, it includes the condoms, but it's not. Lubbock's Planned Parenthood is still open and provides women's health services, but not abortions. Among those services is empowerment kits, which include emergency contraception, emergency tests, and condoms. Also include a voter registration card and information on Senate Bill 8. So they're not banning it yet. This is from 9 months ago. Texas minors need parental approval for federally funded birth controls. Does this include condom? Really? Really? Like, really? Whatever. It is hard to understate the measures they are taking to control your life here. You know? Every time you have sex, you need to have fear of what will happen afterwards. How will your life be ruined by this? And this is not to say that children ruin people's lives, but unwanted children do. And not just that, it ruins the child's life as well. I think abortion is directly linked to lower crime rates. Initial criticism, Twitter about photo race and gasoline. Later studies. A 2020 Donahue and Levitt published an update review of the debate over their original study, concluding that its predictions held up strongly. Donahue and Levitt. Donahue and Levitt study. Revived discussion of the claims with their 2001 paper, The Impact of Legalized Abortion on Crime. Donahue and Levitt point to the fact that males aged 18 to 24 are more likely to commit crimes. Data indicates that crime in the United States started to decline in 1992. Donahue and Levitt suggest that the absence of unwanted children following legalization in 1973. This is like it takes years for these to come into effect. So it's hard to intuitively or to notice it, really, because it takes such long time for it to take effect. Because people need to grow up. People need to have sex. People need to have unwanted children enough for it to become a critical mass, that it's noticeable in statistics, but eventually enough people have enough children that are unwanted, and that creates a problem. My uncle, my mother's brother, an unwanted child, 1950s. An unwanted child that forced my grandmother and my biological grandfather together. It was a shotgun wedding, you know? Eventually divorce was legal though, so thank God for that, I guess. Led to a reduction in crime 18 years later. Starting in 1992 and dropping sharply in 1995, these would have been the peak crime committing years to the unborn children. According to Donahue and Levitt, states that had legalized abortion before Roe v. Wade also had earlier reductions in crime. Further, states with a high abortion rate experienced a greater reduction in crime when corrected for factors like average income. Finally, studies in Canada and Australia claim, citation needed, to have established a correlation between legalized abortion and overall crime reduction. And if we look here, held up strongly. We estimate that crime fell roughly 20% between 97 and 14 due to legalized abortion. The cumulative impact of legalized abortion on crime is roughly 45%. That is a massive correlation impact, accounting for a very substantial portion of the roughly 50 to 55% overall decline from the peak of crime in the early 1990s. Levitt discussed this paper and the background history of the paper, including criticism, in an episode of Freakonomics podcast. Okay. So, we're going to see in America, 18 years from now, a sharp rise in crime in all states that have banned abortion due to the overturning of Roe v. Wade. All of them. Even if tomorrow, bam, we have a new law, there's going to be kids born today due to being due to not having access to abortions. They're going to be criminals. Because they're unwanted. Because the mother, the father, the whatever, they're not taken care of correctly. It is a fact. Anyway, that is Texas, what they're doing to control your life, to put fear in you, and to ban the fucking orgasm. Okay? That is what they're doing. Can you imagine talking about banning orgasm in general, 1948, I believe, or 48, 49? I believe that interview was taking place. Can you, how far along in the future, thought-wise, are you if you're talking about that at that point? You are liberated, mentally liberated by that. Like Stardate said, I was never as free as under Nazi occupation. There's some truth in that I, living in a ostensibly free society, me living in a society where I'm allowed to criticize the state, where I'm allowed to talk freely about whatever, where I'm allowed to disagree with authority, tell the king to go fuck himself, tell my prime minister that he's a fucking lobotomized retard. In such a society, yes, I am free to do all of those things. But in a society where I'm not free to do all those things, where I'm not able to openly talk about my issues, that can, and I actually still continue to do that, that can feel more liberating. That can feel more free in a sense, even though you're more repressed. But because you have your mind isn't controlled by them, you're allowing yourself, you're it's an act of rebellion, and that's freedom. Anyway, Texas banning the orgasm, putting fear in you. What is Florida doing then? New Governor DeSantis just ordered the University of Florida and the University of South Florida to deactivate their Students for Justice in Palestine group for violating Florida's laws against anti-Semitism. I'm not going to read all this. At the Daily Signal, we have repeatedly reported they're rife with anti-Semitism. I don't doubt that there's anti-Semitism there, but let's see what evidence she actually provides here. I'm not going to read the articles. I want to see the videos. Stop U.S. aid to Israel, $3.8 billion per year for genocide. Oh, the anti-Semitism. Oh, you can feel the nose being written, you know? Can't read. Free Palestine. Nothing. Palestinian flags. Palestinian scarves. Resistance against occupation is a human right. Oh, the anti-Semitism. How horrible of them. And that's the same. Like, what is... So they're protesting... Where exactly here? Stop genociding Gaza? Israeli embassy in Washington. Oh, the anti-Semitism of protesting your... the government that is doing the genocide? Like, are we for real here? Oh, I can't have that. You know what? I'm gonna mute it on your end instead, so I can hear if something happens. Let's see. I'm not seeing Free Palestine here with a peace sign. I'm seeing Palestinian flags. I'm seeing... Oh my God, she's wearing a burqa. The anti-Semitism. Oh. This is a great way to make people not be able to cover your protest. Awesome. Thank you. If you're silent when Israel kills Palestinians, remain silent when Palestinians defend themselves. You could say that's anti-Semitism because why are we not allowed to speak up when... But he's right. If you only speak on one side doing the bad things, you're complicit with the other side. You are condoning the other side. So I do not... I could have this... I could wear this. And I could say the same thing to lefties who never criticize Hamas. Hamas Anabi, for example, never criticized Hamas, never condemned them or his friends for celebrating the murder or actually murdering of children, you know? So this goes both ways, in my opinion. Israel is committing a genocide, apartheid, ethnic cleansing. Yeah, that's just true. Can't read, more Palestine flag, like... Oh, long live Palestine, long live indigenous resistance. Oh, the horrors. This is what they want to ban? This is what we're banning. This is what we're complaining about. Okay. Sure. This is no music here. Vigil for the murdered Palestinians. Oh, the anti-Semitism. Rest in glory. Looks like a photograph, but I can't tell if it is or of whom. Let's see if I can get a... No, I can't see. Students are gathering in D.C. for a planned vigil for the martyrs of Palestine. Many of them were wearing face masks. I wonder why. All this and what Florida is doing, what Governor DeSantis is doing, all of it is giving you a target to hate. It is the 2 minutes of hate that is just stretched out for 24 hours. There will be no emotion except fear, rage. Yeah, it's fear. It's making you fearful of the flag, the Palestinian flag. That's the target. That's the point. Whenever you see a Palestinian flag, whenever you see someone wear a Palestinian scarf, whenever you see someone expressing their disdain towards what Israel is doing in the Middle East, what Israel is doing towards Palestine and Palestinians and NGOs or journalists in the region, whenever you see that, they want you to think anti-Semitism. That is it. So I'm not going to read the article because it is stupid. Everything, if this is what she's reporting on, then it's just, you know what? You know what? Why don't we? Let's see what the actual article, the Daily Signal. What is this? Daily Signal Wiki? Who funds you? Heritage Foundation. Before starting the Daily Signal, the Heritage Foundation ran two other digital publications, The Foundry, a blog, and townhall.com, a news and opinion site. Was acquired by Salem Communication in 2005, and The Foundry was phased out following the advent of the Daily Signal. So it's just a Heritage Foundation. The Media Strategies was hired to design the site specifically for mobile phones and tablets. Kilmer Bypon is media ethicist, commented that anything could never be credible for liberal readers, but could reach an undecided audience so long as the publication removed political agendas and published quality work from trained journalists. It's just propaganda. That's all it is. The site was officially launched in June 2014. Debut stories included an interview with Kansas Governor Sam Brownback about federal health care laws' effect on the state, and an account, I'm sure it's an unbiased depiction of events. And and an account of a recent trip to the DMZ with the Jim Demint and the demilitarized zone. I'm guessing in North Korea. That's the one I know of. Vietnamese. Okay, yeah. I'm guessing it's North Korea. That's usually what people mean when they say DMZ. That's not where I was. From Jim DeMille, the president of the Heritage Foundation. A puff piece. In September 2014, Cheryl Atkinson and business assistants and multiple outlets, including Fox News. Yeah. So it's just a propaganda. Let's see if she gives any more evidence here in this article, but doesn't look like it. The students in dusk fell DC for a vigil in honor of our martyrs. Organized encounters encouraged the students to bring posters, flowers, flags, and masks, or cafe Palestinian headdress to hide their faces. Yeah, because if they don't, this wait oh, there's more here. Let's see. Oh, sorry.
Palestine! Free, free Palestine! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! Over the past few days, Palestinians...
I know from the river to the sea... From the river to the sea, Palestine. No, I'm not going to take your word for it. From the river to the sea. I like, it's not just said by Hamas. It's actually like, you guys stole our land from the river to the sea. Like, we want our land. Like, it's just a national chant about... We want our land back, you motherfuckers. Is calling for the land to be placed entirely under Arab rule at the cost of the state of Israel. Yeah, it does. Yes. Correct. 10 points to Gryffindor. And Israel claims the other way around. Israel has already done the other way around. Yeah. Mark Lamont Hill made a speech at the United Nations ending his word. We have an opportunity not just offer solidarity in words, but to commit to political action, grassroots action, local action, and international action that will give us what justice requires, and that is a free Palestine from the river to the sea. The Anti-Defamation League accused Hill of using the phrase from the river to the sea as code for the destruction of Israel. Okay. Like, I don't see the problem there. We're talking a political entity wanting to destroy a political power that is oppressing. Like, imagine if Denmark. Let's take Denmark through Nazi Germany. They were occupied. Imagine they had a similar slogan. Down with Nazi Germany. Down with... Oh, do you want to destroy... Like, I'm not comparing Israel to Nazi Germany. There's complicated... Like, I'm just saying... Would that really be so bad? It's an oppressive state that doesn't grant all rights to Arabs. Like, you're not allowed to do Jewish Israelis have all the rights. Palestinian Israelis or Muslim Israelis or brown Israelis do not have that right. African Jews do not have that right. And they are actually, if you're an African Jew, you're not allowed to immigrate to Israel automatically. But if you're an American with like way back ties to Israel? Why don't you come on in, boys? Blue-eyed, blonde hair, white skin. Yeah, we like that. Netanyahu from America. Like, it's whatever. Oh no, from the river to the sea.
Invested and across occupied Palestine have mobilized against the Zionist entity, seizing settlements imposed on our land in violation of international law. For the first time in our history, Palestinians have reclaimed the land that we were ethnically cleansed from in 1948. Over 50%.
When was this from? October 11th.
Of Gaza.
So this was the day after. It's tactless. And I don't care. You know what? I do not care that they're not saying, do not kill civilian Israelis here. Do not behead babies here. I don't care. They're doing a vigil. They're doing the focus here is on Palestinians regaining the land that has been stolen from them. That's the point. That's the focus of this. So right here, right now, I do not care. If I have a one-on-one conversation or if I have a longer discussion or something, like in there, if they do not, I'm going to call them up here. And this, the point of this is to help Palestine regain territory that has been stolen from them.
This population is under 18 years old. The vast majority of them have never been outside of the colonial prison walls, have never set foot on a single inch of the land that their families were violently ethnically cleansed from.
Like, that is some, he's right there, and that is some Truman Show thing. That is some really disturbing Truman Show reality. You've never been able to travel outside of your, not even city, like, it's like a few blocks. It's like tiny. You can walk it, the length of it, from north to south in like an hour. Like, it's really, really tiny.
This past weekend, we witnessed them breaking free, tearing down the prison walls, and making it known to the world that we will be caged no longer.
I can call it tactless, anti-Semitic. No. So the Daily Signal, sorry. But it's interesting that they are going back to this. Like, it takes them, like, this is going to be anti-Semitic? Yeah. Sure. Like, they're missing the whole point. And to call for them to be banned and to actually ban them. I get First Amendment. Anyone, anywhere. If you, the Second Amendment is for protecting the First Amendment. Like, those guys, where are they? Where are they? I thought they all lived in Florida. Where are they? Why are they so silent on that? We know why they're silent. We know why. It just reveals their hypocrisy. But they don't care about hypocrisy. They care about loyalty. They care about their side winning. They will use your good nature against you. And you can never let that happen. You can never allow yourself to fall into their trap when they are building the trap, when they are digging it according to your instructions. Like, you think we can't say these kinds of things? Well, here are people who support you saying those kinds of things, so we need to ban them, right? Like, no, you do not allow yourself to fall into that trap. Okay. I just want to listen to George Orwell on this one more time. With the question. Come on. Give it to me.
Ability to face unpleasant facts. Is that what you've
Oh, sorry.
demonstrated in 1984 by drawing an accurate portrait of the future?
I think that allowing for the book being, after all, a parody, something like 1984 could actually happen. This is the direction the world is going in at the present time. In our world, there will be no emotions except fear, rage, triumph, and self-abasement. The sex instinct will be eradicated. We shall abolish the orgasm. There will be no loyalty except loyalty to the party. But always there will be the intoxication of power. Always, at every moment, there will be the thrill of victory, the sensation of trampling on an enemy who is helpless. If you want a picture of the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human face forever. The moral to be drawn from this dangerous nightmare situation is a simple one. Don't let it happen. It depends on you.
Don't let it happen. It depends on you. And before I leave the subject, I just want to say that the whole triumph as the only, I don't want to say positive, or good, but good emotion, like a pleasant emotion. Okay, there we go. The only pleasant emotion that authoritarianism allows itself, or allows its population to experience, is a triumph, is winning over the other ones, trampling on them, pushing them down, a boot stamping on the face. It reminds me of The Imitation Game. Brilliant movie if you haven't seen it. Excellent movie about the Enigma machine and Turing, the first digital computer, and how it was envisioned, or not envisioned, how it was created in a denser format. It's a movie, so it's going to take some liberties. Anyway, he says something in there repeatedly because he's always been bullied. Why do people like violence? He asks multiple times in the movie. Because it feels good. And he's right. It feels so fucking good. If you can add some righteous anger to that kick, to that punch, oh boy, that feels good. And you're right, Blaze. The quibbling over words and their meaning and their impact and how that's a CIA tactic. That is how every counter-revolution, every leftist organization eventually is destroyed. It is. If you look at history, every freedom movement, every left-wing attempt at success is destroyed by infighting. And we know there have been multiple infiltrations by the CIA, by the FBI, by local police even, I think. And I'm sure by foreign adversaries as well. And I'm not talking about CIA outside of the US, which of course they do. That's the whole point of the CIA. I'm talking about external to the US, inside the US. I'm sure every goddamn time it is destroyed by someone who quibbles over words. Quibbles over, we're not being aggressive enough, you know? We should do more. We should, they are antagonizing people to infight. I believe I've talked about this on stream a long time. I didn't make a video on it. I wasn't happy with how it came out. But I talked about an infiltrator who had fought for Rojava in the northern Syrian rebellious socialist attempts in there. He had fought with them apparently, and that was documented. So when he entered BLM, they assumed he's one of us, you know, of course. But he had gotten into trouble with the police, and they had cut a deal. So his job was to antagonize. His job was to make sure that people committed crimes. He asked one guy, a black guy, for a gun. Because he's like, I need a gun. I'm fearful of whatever. But I can't get it. Can you buy me one? And of course he did. And that's illegal. Because now you're circumventing the whole system deliberately. And that's illegal. So he got caught with that. I don't think he ever handed over the gun. And the guy who bought the gun, the one who got instigated, he had expressed concerns over this to the dude at first. But he was so persistent that eventually he just gave in. You know, they always do this. The whole of BLM, whenever you see someone smashing windows or looting or just being aggressive, throwing stones towards police, 9 out of 10 times, it's a fucking cop. It's a cop tactic to antagonize, to instigate, to quibble over words. Do not let that happen. Do not let them control you. Fight the system, but fight it on your terms. If there's a person in the organization you are part of who's talking about doing more, doing criminal stuff, being more aggressive, what's his name? The guy has been thrown out of every movement. The X, Jaden X, is that one of his aliases? Jaden X. Yeah, it is. Jaden X. This dude, John Earl Sullivan, he has been thrown out of every organization, left-wing organization, that has ever had him. They warned about him publicly prior to him being prior to Jan 6, like in November prior. There was a lengthy Twitter thread about all the organizations that have banned him, and that all of the organizations that are warning people about him being an instigator, about him being an infiltrator with ties to the Proud Boys and trying to get the Black Lives Matter to join up with the Proud Boys. to fight the power, you know, don't let that happen. They want to see the boot on your neck. That is all they're doing. And of course, this is the guy that any MAGA moron cites when like, oh, the Jan 6th, that was the FBI who instigated it. That was left-wing insurgents. How do you know? Well, John Sullivan was there, and he was interviewed by Anderson Cooper on CNN afterwards. Okay, Anderson Cooper's a fucking moron, and he's not left-wing, and the guy has been thrown out of every single left-wing org. And his brother is, I believe his brother is part of, is it the Proud Boys? Brother. He's something. James is his name. Yeah, he's a Proud Boy member. Yeah. On January 6th, a young black man stood out. In fact, he worked hard to stand out as he urged people to break glass and enter the Capitol. His name is John Sullivan. His brother, James, is a Proud Boy member, should say, working with Roger Stone and obviously Rudy Giuliani. It even mentions Cash Kelly, who is a convicted gang member. Who the fuck is Cash Kelly? Okay. Bringing your best, MAGA, I see. Bringing your best. Who's a convicted gang member? Does your head hurt yet? Mind us. The picture attached to the story is Rudy's self-owned tweet showing his part in January 6th and relaying the lie that those arrested are Antifa. So this is to James Sullivan. I'm currently working with the FBI. With the FBI, to your point, Blaze, to expose and place total blame on John and 226 members of Antifa that instigated Capitol riots. I was able to get many agents out of trouble along with 3 Utahns. John Sullivan is from Utah. I can see what I can do with cash I wish I had. Oh yeah, the Rebellion Baby. Here's the entire thread. Yeah, so whole family? People tying Capitol writer. So I'm missing some key facts. Yeah, they are. Is he a mother? Fuck off, mother. Okay, parent. No. Okay, brother. Whatever. Oh, of course, Max Blumenthal. Oh, who would have guessed? Yeah, it's really I to put a point in all of this. Don't allow yourself to be controlled by outside forces. You have your morals, and it's very important that you stick with them. It's fine to change your morals. That's fine. But if you feel like, trust your instincts is what I'm saying. Trust the feeling you have here. We are animals, after all. We are creatures. We are social creatures. We're not above that in any way. We are cursed with self-awareness and intelligence. It's a curse to us. It means we can rationalize away things that we shouldn't. I have, on many occasions, I'm sad to say, been completely correct about people who just gave me a bad vibe. Like something was off. I couldn't put my finger on it. I couldn't tell you why. I couldn't formulate the thought, but I had a feeling. And that feeling, I've always listened to it. And I've told people about it. And they've gone, you're crazy. Hugin, you're imagining things. They're a good guy. Look at that. They're a good guy. They helped me move the other week. I don't care. Bad guys help people move all the time. Hitler had a fucking dog. Hitler was a vegetarian. I don't care if they're on paper good. I get a bad feeling. I don't like it. 9 out of 10 times, I am given word that I was right. You know? Someone was convicted of rape over here. Someone instigated a fight over there. Someone just turned out to be a fucking Nazi. I stopped listening to that voice at some point, though. In my 20s, somewhere there, the voice got more quiet, I guess. But I have since taken it up again, you know? That voice, while it shouldn't guide you, it should inform you. It should give you the ability to... Like if someone tells you, well, we should do more. We should hammer them where it hurts. We should go to their homes and knock on their doors and carry a gun. We're not going to use the gun, mind you. We're just going to carry it. We're just visiting them, you know? And oh my God, it got out of control. Of course it got out of control. Like, just allow yourself to listen to the voice so that you do not become the boot in someone's face. So that you do not repress others' desires, others' need. So that you are a force for good against the authoritarian system that is currently rising.